So the bank just seized our money. So as you probably know, Carolyn and I had a nice size savings account. I don't know if it's nice size. I mean, it's nice size for me. I've never had a savings account until I met Carolyn. We have two banks that we bank through, just in case something happened through one of the banks, we could still have money in the other bank. And I was trying to keep half of one bank and half in the other, but never worked out that way because the other bank, it's an online bank. It was always kind of a challenge to transfer money. I mean, maybe not that big of a deal, but it's still, I never had the password right, and I was always afraid I was going to lock out my account. So I had my regular checking account, and it had some savings in it, and then I had the online account, which is actually a really huge interest rate because the feds keep raising interest rates to stop inflation. Inflation is really good if you got a savings account. Now, I know all the preppers out there, they're going to say that you should invest in gold instead of having money in savings. I don't understand that. I mean, I kind of understand it. It holds the value of your cash in case something happens to your bank. So let's just give the example. The bank seized our money. Now I have this gold coin, and I'm going to go trotting off to the grocery store, and I'm going to buy some groceries. I'm going to give the cashier a gold coin. She's going to say, "What's that?" Has no value. Now, I will admit, the state of Missouri, and I think a few other states, have decided to make gold a legal tender. I don't know if they've actually done that yet, but they plan to. So that means I should be able to go to the store, buy groceries, hand them a gold coin, and they give me cash back for my change or something like that. At least that's my understanding. States can't make their own currency, but I think it's the Constitution says that states can use gold as legal tender. Savings grace, I guess, against the dollar crashing and the inflation and all that. Well, I've always said you got to be debt free. Carolyn and I got debt free a few years ago. I guess, wow, maybe 8 or 9 years ago now. Haven't used credit since. I say that. I use the credit card occasionally just to keep it active. I have 3 credit cards. 2 of them, I cut up the card. I still pay the yearly fee. And then I have another credit card through the bank I go through. And I use it regularly. I go buy gas or propane or something with it just to keep it active. And that way I can keep my credit rating up. I don't know why that is important to me. I never intend to buy anything on credit again because I like being debt free. But I use it and then pay it off that month. Now, the way I got debt free was Carolyn, somebody said, "You braggart." Carolyn doesn't spend money at all. She just refuses to spend money. We were able to really concentrate all our money into my debt. When my ex-wife left, I was left with about $50,000 in debt. I had to pay child support for a few years. I also had to buy her a car, or get her a car. Now, I had a fairly new car. It was only a couple years old, and it wasn't paid for yet. So what I did was I paid that off. I think there was $6,000 left on it. Paid it off. I gave that to her. Then I had to buy the truck. Of course, I bought that on credit. But like I said, we got it all paid off. I had taxes I had to pay off. I was self-employed, and we got behind on taxes. And they let you do this payment plan. So you're constantly paying in, and you're never going to get ahead. Never. It's just impossible to get ahead once you get behind on taxes because you got interest and penalties. What we did was we took the highest interest credit card, even if it wasn't the most expensive. You were paying $100 a month on it, let's say. So you pay $200 a month. You get it paid off. Well, now you got that extra $200 you can apply to the next credit card. So let's say you're paying $100 on that one each month. Well, now you're paying $300. So the rate at which you're paying things off starts to pick up really fast. And I don't know, maybe within a year we had it all paid off. And then I thought, okay, well, we're on the truck now. It's going to take forever to pay off because there was something like $20,000 to pay on that. It was huge. And I never thought we'd get that paid off in any reasonable amount of time. But we did. I mean, 6 months maybe? And it was paid off. Because by this time you had so much money at the end of the paycheck because you just paid off all the credit cards. Let's say I had an extra $1,000. So I was just able to put that $1,000 onto the truck. And then once we got debt free, we were able to put all that money into the savings account. And then we traveled for 4 years, I think 5 years, with hardly any money coming in. I had a business. It was a little side hustle job, building databases. I've kind of explained that before. I wasn't making a ton of money, but I was making a little bit. Making YouTube videos, not making a ton of money, but making a little bit. But traveling, we didn't really spend a lot of money as it was. I think we were able to minimize our costs down to like $500 a month. I might have been making $500, maybe. So not spending any money, not making any money, and we were able to travel the country for 4 years. And then of course YouTube started to pick up right around the pandemic. My business collapsed during the pandemic because all the companies closed. Down for the pandemic, they didn't close down permanently, but they closed, and so I just gave up that business and focused on YouTube. And you know, we make okay money with this. I mean, it's not great, but we don't spend money. Now, the way we get away without spending money is, first we bought the property with cash, and that was just such a nice feeling. It was $4,200. A lot of people tell me, oh, you can't find property $4,200. Well, I just say that's false. You can. Carolyn found it on Facebook Marketplace. The problem is, and here's what the major problem is, the reason most people can't find property for $4,200 is because they want to finance it. And once you finance it, you're kind of under the thumb of the person who wants to finance it to you, even if it's owner financed. The whole goal behind owner finance is that you'll default on it. So you pay, default, they take the property back, and they keep the money. I'm saying don't finance. Do exactly what we did. Now, do you have the patience to do it? Well, Carolyn and I did it. Within a couple years, we were debt-free, had money saved up, and we were traveling. It was not bad. Maybe 4 years we had it all done. And that was without a plan. If we had a plan, like when we started working on clearing up my debt, if we had a plan to travel, we may have actually worked harder at it than what we did. So we bought the property, and then we built this little tiny house for $5,000 during the pandemic. People are saying, well, you just can't do it. It's too expensive. Things are just out of hand. Well, it's just going to get worse. We built this, and we found a lot of used components. The window. This was in its original package, but we bought it from some guy at a yard sale. I guess he bought it, didn't like it. I mean, the window doesn't open. There's a lot of reasons not to like this window, but it does nice for us because we can look out at the woods and watch the deer. So, you know, I like the window. And the moon comes up on this side. Now, the key to what we do is being off-grid. The firewood is a ton of value to us. I can't even express how much value to it. To me, firewood is more valuable than gold. It's easy to obtain. A lot of people give it away for free. You just got to go get it, maybe cut it up. You'll have to split it, but it's free. Gold isn't free. As a matter of fact, when you go buy gold, you got to pay the store that sells it to you, their commission, whatever that is. I mean, there's a lot of fees on that. And if you buy it and the value of gold drops, then you're losing money. So if you have to spend that gold right away, you've lost money. But I do think there are things that are more valuable, like firewood. Of course, we don't have utility bills. That's probably a pretty big deal also. You know, the solar panels provide us all the energy we need. About every 3 to 4 months, I gotta go get propane and gasoline. Not too bad. Even for the truck. I mean, I haven't filled the truck up in a month. I mean, I just filled it the other day, but it's been about a month. And we actually had to drive quite a bit this last month. We had a family member that had some of an emergency. I mean, it wasn't serious or anything. So we went and visited him for 2 weekends in a row. So we used quite a bit more gas than normal. Then we had to take the cat to the vet. Yeah, so that was 2 trips. But normally, a month, 2 months, we don't have to fill the gas. Everything we need is right here. My job is here. My utilities are here. My water is here. My heat is here. Now, of course, we also had the chickens. The chickens are a huge asset to us. Last night, we got 12 eggs. Think about that, 12 eggs. Now, most people won't eat eggs 2 times a day, but Carolyn and I do. Like I've mentioned many times before, her and I are carnivores, and we only eat meat or meat-based products like eggs. And I feel like we have a very nutritious diet. I know the trolls out there are gonna say, oh no, you look terrible, you look 90 years old, I'm 104, and I look younger than you. You know, I get all that. But then there's a lot of people say, yeah, you look pretty good. So being able to eat all the eggs the chickens are producing is a big asset to us. Now, a lot of people say, well, just sell the eggs. Well, we don't want to sell the eggs because eggs are feeding us. That means we don't have to go to the store. We don't have to spend the gas to go to the store. means that maybe one day we won't even have to worry about getting groceries for the freezer and having to run the freezer off the solar panels. So when the bank seizes your money, you've got everything in place. You don't have to worry about a thing. You got a place to live. You got the property. Now people are gonna say, oh, taxes, you got personal property taxes. That's like rent. You never own your property. Our taxes went up because of a tiny house from $22 to $43. So our taxes are nothing. We could sell eggs if we have to make that kind of money. It wouldn't even take that much to do. Now, Carolyn makes our chicken food. I've explained all that before. So we don't even have to go out and buy chicken food. They're getting all the nutritional value from what Carolyn does making the food. We just heard that Silicon Valley Bank or something has just went bankrupt. And of course, all the fear mongers out there, preppers, well, this is the end of the world. And just to wrap it up, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know where to put your money. You're just messed up. And it's going to take 99 years for the FDIC to reimburse you, which is a myth. I don't know why they're all, well, I actually do know why they're all saying it. Some consultant came out and said that one time, but it's just not true. Banks have failed before. And you know what the FDIC does? If you have less than $250,000 in the bank, they reimburse them. Now, if you got more than that, you're, I guess, out of luck. That's one of the reasons we split up our money. Of course, we don't have $250,000, but we do split up our money into two different banks. If a bank fails, the FDIC will reimburse our money. I mean, it's insurance. We pay into it. We're taxpayers paying into it. The bank pays into it. Everybody's paying into it. They're going to reimburse the money. If not, lawsuits would come about. Supreme Court would get involved. People's got to have their money to survive. So the preppers are just fear mongering. And of course they say, go get gold. Well, go get gold and then what? You know, gold, I know it's soft and you can bite into it, but I don't think it provides much nutritional value. But eggs do. I'm suggesting, once again, just minimize your life. Get debt free, buy your property, own nothing, pay your $43 in personal property tax. Don't go anywhere, stop traveling, stop buying gas, and you'll do fine even if the bank does seize your money. The fear mongers out there have got everybody petrified that everything is just going to crash. And as long as you're taking care of yourself, you don't have to rely on it. But the thing is politicians, the media, and the fear mongers want you to rely on the system. They need you to rely on the system. So you rely on the system, and then when it crashes, the fear mongers like, hey, look what happened here. Haha, I told you. So you watch their videos or you watch their programs. The government, well, we're just going to need more tax dollars, so you're paying them more tax dollars. I'm saying just break away from them. So if you click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where I was talking to you about living off grid, why we do it, and how many times people will mess with you. So I hope I can inspire you to stop being afraid and take action now. Thanks for watching.